I have been told that I have Graves' disease. Let's open the door. Get some air inside. Yeah, it's better. So I was told, so let's just rewind. So I was having just random symptoms. Random symptoms. And I thought, oh, is this like menopause or what's going on? And this has been going on for a little while, and I went to the doctor and I said, I'm having these random symptoms. Could it be like a menopause thing? And they said, I've had this before, and this has been going on for a while, and I was told, no, you're too young, and then maybe, and then you just take some B supplements, because I had like paresthesia, the tingling in my hands, and I would feel warm, and other, aches and pain, just aches and just not feeling like myself. So, I wasn't continuously going to the doctors, but when I did go, I was told, oh, maybe you need some anxiety tablets, or, everything is fine. That's what I was kind of getting. And I don't know, I had this feeling that I needed to find the information from elsewhere. I need to get the answers from somewhere else. And when I first came to South Africa, which was, I think it was in May, this year, I found this clinic called, I thought I could just call and they'd have an appointment and I could just attend. And they told me it was a 4-month wait. So I was like, fine, 4 months, my next holiday, and I'm going to hang tight until that time. And in that time I've had some really uncomfortable symptoms, like my heart racing, palpitations, just not feeling like me, like Fiona. And the paresthesia in my hands, the tingling and numbness in my hands were just getting worse. So anyway, I've been counting down the days until this week, Monday, just gone. And I thought that I was going to go to the hormonal clinic here in Cape Town, and they were going to say, yeah, it's a menopause, you're going, it's perimenopause, it's that premenopausal stage, you're going through these changes, and that's what it is. And then I was just going to enjoy the rest of my week. I had the whole week planned, and when I arrived, I went through everything with the lady, really nice lady actually, really nice clinic, really nice people that work there. And let me go back a bit. Before I left Tanzania, I was asked by the clinic here to take some blood. So they gave me a list of the blood tests that I needed to have. So I took it on the Thursday because I was flying out on the Saturday. Took it to my doctor, who I've been saying, look, I've got these issues, blah, blah, blah. I even said I'm going to South Africa to check on what's going on, because something's not kind of right. And so I gave her the prescription. It was on my phone. I gave it to her, and she's, ticking and writing and doing whatever she's doing. Then she said, okay, tomorrow. So although I went on Thursday, I was having the test on Friday, the blood test. So I could collect them on the Friday in the afternoon and then take them with me. I had a flight on Saturday. And Monday, so when I arrived on Monday, fast forward, to the hormonal clinic, we were going through everything, family history, etc. And she said, not all of your bloods have been done. They haven't done everything, which I just thought was strange. And I think I mentioned this in my last vlog. They didn't do all of the bloods that were requested, which is just so strange. And I'm going to be questioning them when I go back about this. And so yeah, we went through all of that. And she then, prior to my arrival, she had completely put together, she said this is something she does for all of her patients. When they have bloods, basically a breakdown of what the blood tests are, what they are on the date, what the range should be, and what the kind of overall outcome is. And she said basically, to make the story a little shorter, that my TSH3, which is to do with your thyroid, was very high. So she just explained to me that I needed to go. She was going to do another prescription for me to go and do the bloods that hadn't been done, including my T4 and my T3 to do with my thyroid, again, just in case. So I went to have those done that same, was it the Monday? No, it must have been Tuesday. I went to have them done. And yeah, went and had the blood test done. They sent the results back, but I had to wait 2 days. They were supposed to send it back the same day. Then they said, oh, they couldn't get one of the blood results was going to be late, and so it was just a waiting game. But then I had to go and see an endocrinologist, but I didn't see the endocrinologist until the Thursday, and by then they already kind of knew, because I also went to have a scan. So it was a lot of running around. And I had to go and have a specific scan, and it's for thyroid. And basically, you have to go, and I had to have an injection. I think it's a dye that is injected, and your thyroid absorbs that dye. And then you wait 20 minutes, and then you go and have the scan, and it's like in 2 parts. And you're lying down, and the machine kind of comes quite close. So this is you, and it comes quite close. And the first 5 minutes, so you don't move at all, but the first 5 minutes, and then she comes back and she puts 2 markers on my throat, and then I think that's about another 10 minutes, and then I'm finished. So Thursday, I went to see the endocrinologist, and he has everything now because they've received the bloods, and the doctor, the lady that I was seeing, she already had said that to him. She found these people for me because I wasn't coming for this. This is brand new. And so she kind of reached out to the people that she knows, and I went to see them. And so he said, we talked and we went through everything. And he basically said, you have Graves' disease. And I was kind of, I kind of just was listening. And he said that you have inherited it from somewhere in your family, a female, because it's a lot more females have it than what men would have, this particular disease. And I don't have the acute version of it, and it's something that I can get rid of, in a sense, or it can go into remission, as he also explained. So I think the main reason why I'm sharing this is because, I was fortunate that I was able to pay for all of this, although I can claim all this back from my insurance when I go back to Tanzania. But I was thinking about also when I was living in China and I fell down the stairs and I dislocated my shoulder. And just kind of going through all of this, and you're alone. And people, I've seen quite a few vlogs of people, this glorifying moving abroad, and people are not packing their common sense with them. They're just moving abroad, thinking that everything is going to be wonderful and okay, and then they don't have any money, or they don't have somewhere to live, or they don't have something, and then they find themselves in a bind. And if you're going to live abroad, just bring your common sense with you. As I said, when I had an accident, dislocated my shoulder, I don't speak fluent Chinese. I've never had any injury whilst in the 5 years I was living there. And then I find myself having to also, put Chinese words together, grab little words together to make a sentence, all through the pain of having an anterior dislocation. This is not a feel sorry for me. You don't need to feel sorry for me at all, because I'm going to be absolutely fine. But it really does make me think that what if I got here and I only had a limited amount of money, or the money just to come and pay for this appointment. To be honest, I didn't even know how much the appointment was. I just booked the appointment. But you have a certain amount of money, you're staying in an Airbnb, you've got flights, you've got to pay for food, you're going to go and do things, but then you get an outcome that is completely outside of what you expected. What if you don't have the money to go and see the endocrinologist, to go and see? I also saw a neurologist because my thyroid has possibly caused carpal tunnel. That's why I'm having the tingling, specifically in this hand. And what if you don't have the money to see these people? Because even though I have insurance, my insurance doesn't cover, I can only claim it when I go back. What if you don't? What do you do? And so, you just have to really think wisely about emergencies and what you're going to do when you move abroad. Be sensible and save your money if you're coming to live and work abroad. Be sensible. Before I moved abroad, nearly 6 years ago now, I remember watching, I think I can say hundreds of vlogs about people who had moved abroad. And there was this one guy, I was looking at quite a few different vlogs from different countries because I was deciding on where I was going to go at that time. And there was this one guy, and I think his channel was called Kev in Thailand, an English guy, Kev in Thailand, yeah, I'm sure that's what it was called. Older guy, from England, somewhere in England, and I remember, his channel used to be about living in Thailand, how much utility bills were, how much car was, really useful information. I found it really, really useful. And although I didn't watch him all the time, when I did catch his vlogs, I found them really useful. And then I remember I then moved, and I think I saw, at some point I saw somebody else's vlog with his name in the title and rest RIP. And so I clicked on the vlog, and basically Kev in Thailand had passed away. He had been sick, and it was something to do with money and not having the money to go home to England to get the care or to have the care or treatment in Thailand, and he passed away. I'm not sure if the family got his body sent home, but living abroad is, you've got to be really sensible. It doesn't matter how long you've lived somewhere, you've really got to be ready and prepared for any kind of situation that may come about. I'm very fortunate in the sense that I don't have the acute version of it. When I heard of the doctor say, this is what I've got and I've inherited it, I had one person in my mind. I don't know if you know Wendy Williams. She has Graves' disease, but she has the acute version of it. I don't have that. And the doctor was saying my lifestyle and the way I eat and just my general lifestyle has really protected me. And although my hormones are a little bit all over the place, it was this hormonal shift that kind of ignited the Graves' disease. I don't have issues with the eyes, I don't have the goiter, which is the swollen neck, I don't have any nodules on my thyroid, I just have a slightly swollen thyroid. And I'm going to get rid of it, I can't eat seaweed, I cannot have sea moss, which I have every single day. I can't have that anymore. I've got to make sure that everything that I consume is not gluten, which is going to be quite easy. And other than that, I'm going to just be on top of it when it comes to cold pressed juices and just super clean eating, which I'm good at doing anyway. And just maintaining my exercising, which I'm really good at anyway, and drinking lots of water, which I'm really good at anyway. So this isn't about feeling sorry for me or anything. I don't need to see sorry. This is more about being prepared for these types of situations when you move abroad. It's not all sunset and beach. It's let me be sensible because I'm on my own. And if I find myself, I travel all over the place, if I find myself in another country and I have an issue, can I financially get myself out of this situation? Can I pay for a doctor? Can I pay for transportation? Like with COVID, I was in China, and my flight was cancelled in Shanghai to try and get out of China, and I had to go to Hangzhou airport. You know, even though the airline gave me the money, I immediately booked another flight. Do you have the money to do all of those things? So this is really just about my experience, or my experiences, you know, my injury, which healed, and this experience, which will be very short-lived, because I'm on top of it, is really about being prepared when you move abroad, being prepared. It's not all roses and meeting new people and, you know, hanging out with the locals and things. It's how you manage yourself when there's an emergency, financially and personally. So I'm going to be cool. Of course I will be cool. I am going to keep the doctors here, the endocrinologist and the hormonal health doctor. I am going to keep them as my doctors, and I will be coming back in February, although that wasn't the plan. I was going somewhere else, but I will be coming back to check up. I'm supposed to be taking some tablets that helps with the thyroid, and I'm only supposed to be taking them for 3 months, and then have a review when I come back. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. So we're going to see how that works. I'm also taking supplements. I'm taking vitamin D3, although I'm not deficient. I've been advised to kind of up that a little bit more. I'm also taking iron. Again, I've been advised to up that a little bit more, although I'm not deficient in that. And I'm also taking, what else? Iron, that's it, I think that's it. Oh, magnesium. I take one of those at night, which generally is just good for the body, really, and helping with sleep, which sleep has been one of the issues that I've been having, the lack of and disturbed sleep. So yeah, I just wanted to share, not so much that I have this temporary situation going on, but more about, you know, living abroad, traveling around, and how you manage yourself. So many people now are making this shift to moving abroad, but really look at it as, okay, if there is a crisis, I think I talked about this in one of my earlier videos, how, you know, what do you do if you're in an emergency, or you have a situation, a doctor says, actually, this is your situation, you need to go and see someone right now, what are you going to do? You know, what if you have to stay, or what if I had to stay extra time in Cape Town? Can I afford to do that? I mean, I could afford to do that, that's not a problem. But ask yourself those questions if you're planning on moving abroad and you find yourself in a bind. Write things down, you know, worst case scenario, what are you going to do? So yeah, I'm not going to discuss this again, because there's no reason to, because I'm on top of it. I didn't really get to enjoy so much of Cape Town. Weather's been absolutely fabulous, although today it's a little bit grey, and I felt some specks of rain. I've just been going to different places, having this test and this conversation, and you know. But the one thing I did, which I'm looking forward to, is they said that once the thyroid starts settling down, all the other symptoms that I was getting, you know, especially like the paresthesia and the sleeping, or disturbed sleep, little aches here and there, once that settles down, everything else will settle. So that is what I'm looking forward to. So I hope you found this useful information. Don't be discouraged, but be sensible. Pack your common sense in your bag with you when you leave home. That is what I wanted to say. So if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. It's nearly the end of the year. I'm going home at the end of the year. I'm looking forward to that. And somewhere else. But I'll share all that once I'm back home in England. I'm going to visit. I'm not moving back. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like, and don't forget to share, and asante sana. Bye-bye.